All right, guys. Welcome, guys, to the Get Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. I'm your host, the most, Will Buchanan. Of course, the man to my left, your right, depending on how your screen is flipped. What do you have for us today, sir?
I'm Jared Snow, fully trained in the art of Mortal Kombat.
And we are the Get Bit Podcast. So, guys, just as the WWE of old, we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, there may be things that might be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers. So, viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So, we are at the eve before New Year's Eve. So, hopefully, where you are, you're able to enjoy the festivities, holidays, the Festivus with your folks. So, we hope you do. But in the meantime, before you watch that big ball drop tomorrow to where we see what the bingo card of 2023 gets us, we got some news. I guess we need to start with some particulars. Because one, this is one that was teased recently, and I don't know how I feel about it. Basically, guys, if you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid, this was actually released today. The Metal Gear Solid producer says that 2023 will be a year of many announcements. It has been speculated that we may see a Metal Gear Solid remake, we may see a new game put all together, we may actually see the long gestating movie that has yet to find a script or an actor. Um, Basically, it's just them coming out and saying, "Stay tuned." And Joe, I want to ask you this, just because famed director Hideko Kojima, forgive me if I mispronounce your name, the man who was behind Metal Gear Solid all the way up to the Phantom Pain, he was not behind Metal Gear Survive because that was a piece of crap. Um, will not be a part of this, so going forward, if Konami did announce that they were going to do a Metal Gear Solid game, uh, would you be interested, or would you feel like we're kind of beating a dead horse?
There is no new Metal Gear without Kojima. We know that. The fans won't allow it. The fans will purposely review bomb this thing to high heaven the moment it gets put on Steam,
Yeah,
uh, because they are a more polite but still as ravenous fan base as a Snyder fan base.
true.
But without Kojima, there is no Metal Gear. So my thing is there'll be mini Metal Gear Solid announcements for Pachinko,
Hmm.
or there'll be mini Metal Gear Solids with a compilation collection, collecting Metal Gear One, a reissue of the Subsistence that we got on PlayStation 3,
Yeah. Well, we got Peace Walker and the Twin Snakes. Yeah,
and then we get maybe remakes or compilation of the Boss era. So that would entail the two PSP games
yeah.
and Hello to Christopher Gully.
Hey, Chris, what's going
The
on?
two PSP games,
Mhm.
and Metal Gear 3 and Metal Gear 5.
Well, five being the Phantom Pain, I wouldn't mind that. That was Kojima's last production. I do agree with you though. I think it's not going to be. Me being a part of that rabid fan base for Metal Gear Solid, I don't think they'll go. Well, let me take that back. Konami is brave enough to actually try because they tried Metal Gear Survive. They may be bold enough to try another Metal Gear Solid, but I do see your point though. They actually might go the remake route. We might see some remakes and some repackaging of Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3. We might actually see Peace Walker and Peace Walker, the Twin Snakes. Of course, if I came down to it, I would honestly love to see a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Outside of the Phantom Pain. That was probably my favorite Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah, you
But
you do it in chronological order, so you're at least you get 4 games for the Boss era and 3 games for the Snake era. Or
true.
no, you get 4 games for the Snake era because you get Metal Gear One, Metal Gear Two, Solid Two, or Solid Two, and Four. So you get 5 games for there, and then you get the two PSP games,
Hmm.
um, 3 and 5. I want to say that's all of them for Boss, but I feel like I'm missing one.
No, you're right.
And then for no reason, just throwing Ghost Battle from Game Boy Color because that was an excellent game.
Technically, there's also the VR missions, and I guess Revengeance if you want to cover that, but
they can do their own Raiden compilation.
I don't know.
I mean, we're in the era of compilation now. I just got the Cowabunga collection. Fantastic. And the Atari 50 collection is amazing.
Oh, yeah. The Cowabunga collection, I will sit there and say it is worth getting if you haven't already gotten it. I'll have to try that. I'll have to try the Atari collection next time I get a shot. I actually just picked up the Callisto Protocol, so I can't wait to play that a little bit later and scare myself. But anyway, what you guys think of the Yeah, it's gonna. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get to sleep.
Yeah, that's all the Callisto Protocol is from what I've seen.
Oh, don't tell me, dude. I'm already waiting for Jedi Survivor come March of next year. But for all those in the comments, let us know. I mean, are you looking forward to another Metal Gear Solid game? Are you looking forward to a remake? Are you looking forward to just anything from Konami? Because I mean, at this point, it's already been said that Kojima is focusing on Death Stranded 2. So yeah, I don't really see a lot coming from the Metal Gear Solid. I think we'll have just relive our glory days. But anyway. Other video game news, there is another game that I'm following, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. It is a narrative-driven shooter game. They just released another trailer. Young viewers advise it's a little bit graphic.
After years of work, a group of scientists managed to tap into the noosphere, the Earth's informational field. An achievement comparable at best to the conquest of space.
Don't want the innocent to suffer? Then help me find the culprit.
And who the fuck are you?
And what do we have a decade later? The Zone, in our image, after our likeness. My men are still lying out there, and I can't even bury them.
Died in an anomaly. Shot by loners. Found with a stone around his neck. Thrown off a cliff. Torn apart by dogs. You cannot kill God. Just like you cannot get rid of the sky up above. I am blind, but it is you who cannot see.
Oh, I'm excited. I am freaking excited. That was the most updated trailer for Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. For all those that don't remember, guys, that was the sequel to the first one, because I had to think about this second. I'm sorry. The first one was actually released on Steam 8 years ago. Actually, it was a very heavy first-person narrative shooter. I'm sorry, what did you say, Joe?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, first-person shooter, so heavy on the narrative stories. And trust me, if you are a fan, and I mean this ever so nicely, if you're a fan of how can I put this ever so nicely, Metro is also a good one too. If you never played Metro, it's the same thing. Well, sort of. It's just a little bit more on the Russian side. But anyway, Definitely fun. Joe, I know that you're not really up for first-person shooters, but just from your opinion of what you saw, would it make you even consider it, or would you be like, yeah?
Does it have xenomorphs or predators?
It has predators in a way, but they don't have rocket launchers. But the things are invisible and hard to kill.
Nah, I need some Xenos if I'm going to do some pew pew.
Say what?
I need some Xenos if I'm going to do some pew pew.
Fair enough. But yeah, but that was Soccer 2 Harsh No. That actually comes out next year. Joe, I know you had some games that you want to review. Did you want to do Sea of Stars first or
Yeah. So I got so the first one is not come out yet. The second one I am currently playing, and I can talk a little bit about it.
Okay. Which trailer do you want me to play first?
Sea of Stars first, because this is the one I'm really anticipating, because the Switch has been a great system for RPGs, and there's been some really good retro style RPGs, and the two we're about to talk about are among my top lists. Like, when we get to the second one, that is probably my RPG of the year.
Ooh. Oh, that better be good. All right. So, without further ado, Sea of Stars. Dang it, Joe, you're going to make me buy stuff.
Now,
we don't need to talk about that.
Dang it, Joe, you're going to make me buy stuff.
Sea of Stars is Devolver Digital, makers of The Messenger and other wonderful games with their hilarious sense of humor, mixed with the composer of Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, and Xenoblade. And the combat system is going to be that of Super Mario RPG.
I like it. I never heard of that game, but now I have to go. Now I have to wait.
Just got announced, and it should be out within a month, or either sometime the coming month or in February. I am greatly looking forward to that thing. That's going to be so much fun.
I was definitely getting Final Fantasy Chrono Trigger vibes. Those are the types of games I like to play. So no, I dig it.
Well, the next RPG we're going to look at, this is my RPG of the year. This thing blows everything I've been playing out of the water.
You know what? This Chain Echoes, the fact that you're calling this your RPG game of the year, well, let's see. Here we go, guys. Chain of Echoes. Or Chained Echoes is what it's called. Okay, I'm digging it. So, wow. So, Joe, you gotta explain to me because aside from that, why are you calling this your RPG of the year, dude?
So how much do you like Chrono Trigger? Because this is a really good memory lane of Chrono Trigger mixed with
Chrono
Final Fantasy VI mech combat.
See, Chrono Trigger is still one of those games I never got to finish. So I'm always that's kind of been a slight thorn in my side.
So the game opens up very reminiscent of Chrono Trigger, where your mom is waking you up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, it's time for the festival. You got to get up. He's like, all right, I'm up. No, seriously, get up. I'm awake. Get the hell up. It's like, then she slaps you.
Yeah.
And then you're waking up on a pirate ship where apparently that was some time ago, and you're now a sky pirate who is a mech jock for your own pirate band. And it just goes from there. You meet multiple characters along the way. The biggest thing about this game is the combat system. So, combat has a meter gauge where you got to use meter management. It starts off in yellow, then you're a traditional RPG. Spells cost what they do. Damage is very standard. But then you get it into a green area where it's a sweet spot.
Okay.
And your attacks deal more damage. You take less damage. Your special moves cost less MP. But it drives the needle up. And if you get too far, you get overheated. And then everything costs more and you take more damage. So you got to use certain skills when the list tells you, or you have to start blocking. Or just play the defensive game to decrease the meter as it goes along. And enemies are not dumb in this. Like if they sense one of your party members has lower health than others, they target that one and target them down.
Okay, cool. So it's adaptive AI. I like that. I'm gonna have to see. Dang it, Joe. I was happy with my purchases, and now I have to go buy 2 more things to Switch.
Story is fantastic. I'm not going to spoil anything. I haven't even gotten to the mechs. I just now gotten to the open world. I think I'm shy 3 characters. What the trailer has shown. So I have been really enjoying it. I've also really been enjoying a nice little RPG called a Little Gator Game, where it's what if you're a little gator boy in the 80s playing in a park and you're playing The Legend of Zelda. And all the monsters are little cardboard cutouts of monsters. There's a climb meter like in Legend of Zelda. And you're trying to get all your friends, and your friends send you on quests. It's the most adorable thing ever.
How did this not get past Nintendo?
Oh, because they are very creative about it. It's like, so we need to go get this gold triangle. Okay. Go get this gold triangle. It's half of a grilled cheese sandwich.
Just enough not to involve the lawyers. Just enough.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious because they are poking at it hard. It's like, what do you think you need? What do you think you need? You need a pointy hat that kind of flops over every now and then. And then just now learn certain helmets give you certain things. So I befriended 3 kids that are playing ninjas. And after I beat it, they gave me one of their headbands. I do a little tiny Naruto run now for wearing the headband.
Oh, Lord.
It's super adorable. I love it to death. It's 3D. It's just called Little Gator Game. The whole premise is you're trying to get your sister, who's now either in high school or college. It's kind of unclear what it is, but the whole premise is you're trying to make the game so big that all the kids on the island town you live in, so that you will convince your sister to quit doing her schoolwork and play with you again like you used to when you guys were younger.
Nice. All right. Cool. That's cool.
Super adorable.
I'm going to definitely keep that in mind because now I have 2 more games on Switch. So thanks, Joe, for feeding my addiction.
If you really introduce the kids to Zelda and it not blow their minds or drive them into a rage, you get Little Gator Games. Like it's not baby's first Zelda, but you'll sit there and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. But before we move on to just some quick news, guys, before we get to the I hate that we got to talk about this movie, but we got to talk about it anyway. Quick news before we get to that segment. I did want to start with this. For all those who are wondering, yes, God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus is coming in the spring. It is slated for spring 2023. Because yes, if you like me, God of War Ragnarok was definitely my game of the year. And I love the story. Not going to spoil anything from it just because it was definitely that good. And really just it has to be explored. But for all those that are wondering, New Game Plus is coming in the spring for that. Wanted to go ahead and switch to this because James Gunn, being the social media mastermind that he is, may have said in a tweet that you see right here where he goes, anyone figure these out yet? I assume was planted, just because he put up there, of course, hey, a cheese plate, thanks so much. But if you were to blow up the picture, people are wondering exactly what were the 3 books that were in the corner. So the weird part about this is the 3 books that they're trying to blow up, that it became, and I kid you not, there were people, this lets you know people on the internet either are very good at this or have way too much time on their hands, or both. But as you can see, there are a couple books in the corner aside from the cheese plate, and then someone had brought up that those books by any chance could be Grant Morrison Batman. For all those that don't know, Grant Morrison did write Batman stories very well, and that those may have been the same books that were in James Gunn's picture. If that's the case, because we know James Gunn is rewriting the DC universe from scratch, some would say he's taking points from Justice League Unlimited, that he might be writing Batman via Grant Morrison style. And if we were to speculate on that, is it a good idea to go that route, Joe, if you're familiar with that? Or do you think that we're just grasping at straws?
I would prefer it be Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin, because that's when Dick was Batman and Damian was Robin. That was like my favorite era of Batman, and I really don't like Bruce Wayne Batman.
I did like his Batman and Son. I like Batman Rest in Peace. I loved the Return of Bruce Wayne. I think that was his. The Return of Bruce Wayne was his too. I'm not against it if that's what he's doing. If that's what he's doing, cool. I'm not mad about that. But yeah, it's just that I wonder if he is going that route of using Grant Morrison as a base for his new Batman. It's not bad. Like I said before, we already knew that Gunn and Safran, forgive me if I mispronounced the name, they are going to have to rewrite DC slate. So we're not surprised if this is what they want to do. I'm not against it. But moving right along, guys, I did want to cover this story because I looked at this because Joe had brought this up, and our podcast and our Facebook group, I gotta have him explain this because I look at this and I'm like, it reminds me of Power Rangers meets mechs. And Joe, I'll let you take it.
Oh yeah, this is getting big traction in the Tokusatsu fandom. This is the next year's Power Rangers. This is Osama Sentai King Ranger, where all the Rangers are kings and queens and royalty of their own kingdom, and they're going to have to come together to fight a new big bad. The big thing that draws us is we are just skirting that line to where these are just the 5 great kings of Edenoi that sent Dex down to, and Furbus down to the earth in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like, that Red Ranger may as well just be Dax's grandpa. No, in all seriousness, like, there's a lot of big changes. This is the first time we've ever had an insect motif. Usually that is left to Kamen Rider. All these guys are wearing big-time armor, which is pretty unusual. Capes are back. We haven't had a good Cape Sentai in quite a while.
Yeah.
Everyone's change weapon is their King Calibers. The multi-use weapon is the shields that they have, because everybody comes from a different kingdom. Their Megazord is so overly designed that it is 5 vehicles short from Vehicle Voltron.
Are we talking overdone like
it takes 10 Zords to make the standard Megazord.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Now, Vehicle Voltron took 15 units to make Vehicle Voltron,
Yeah.
or as some of us know it as Die Rigger 15.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what it's like, but a lot of us are hyped because the design of the mech is very reminiscent of another Tokusatsu franchise called Tokuma Rescue Heroes, where it's very straightforward of firefighting and police officers.
Mm-hmm.
But their mechs are pretty much just Diaclone robots, which we have watched Diaclone videos numerous times on the show. So it's that level of. Let me see if I can't pull up a Rescue Fire mech transformation. Send it over to you. I'm more to this series because it's such a unique take. We haven't had
Mm-hmm.
that in Super Sentai. Kamen Rider really good right now. Rescue Fire All Mecha.
I'm not gonna lie. The first I looked at it, I was like, are we insects or are we mechs? Because I know Power Rangers goes through certain phases. That's all I was like, have we reached the Beetleborg side? Guess if we have, okay, cool, I accept that. But it's just weird.
This is a long one. We'll show a little bit of it. Rescue Fire and Tokuma Rescue Force. They don't play with their transformation sequences.
Oh, hang on, I'm gonna load it. Give me a second, por favor. Hang on, this thing is gonna try to play me, which I'm not usually mad about. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me mute it so that way nobody comes looking for us. All right. Okay.
Yeah, it just keeps on going. So these are like the final attacks on top of all the transformation sequences.
I always find it interesting. How does the other side make their stuff look way cooler than the US side?
Yeah, it's really hard to say.
That's the one thing.
Sentai Rescue Fire. This is their firefighter rescue series.
Oh, where they try to Lightspeed rescue, trying to mirror Lightspeed Rescue, I guess, from our side.
They actually purely stick to firefighting.
Ah.
So it's all fire demons and whatnot.
Okay.
So we just keep going. Yep, Rescue Gattai. So we're getting like this kind of Megazord stuff now.
You know what? I'm not mad about that though. I'm not mad about that because it's actually how can I put this? It makes sense that when we see configurations before that they look chunky and built up, this actually looks way better.
Yeah, put it towards the middle so we can get some of the robots. Because I know a lot of this is like.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be here a while. Let me try that
right
here.
there. Because that ends one of them. And this starts a new transformation.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it's just going to keep going. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's kind of hilarious. I mean, like I said, we're getting 10 Zords to make up the standard Megazord for this new series. So I don't even know what their ultimate Zord's going to be like. It's going to end up being like Zoo Odger, where it's like 15 blocks stacked up onto each other.
I'm not going to lie. It would be funny as hell to see how much. You know what? Somebody somewhere is like, how many Zords can we put
right. I forgot what this thing turns into.
Somebody's got to be sitting somewhere like, how many Zords can we combine just see if we can do it? He's kind of a stout Zord, though.
No, it's just one dude Zord. And it just keeps going and keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. It's hilarious.
Oh God.
So, I look forward to it. That starts up in March. Dawn Brother is still hilarious and just did a 20-year, 10 or 15 or 20-year later with Hurricaneger, or as you guys call it, Ninja Storm.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're tied into the new Dawn Brother movie.
Cool. Okay, I guess I need to get this out the way.
Are we
Why?
talking about James Cameron's colonization fantasy?
Yep. We got, because we've seen it, and because we have to give our opinion. Joe, what did you think of Avatar: The Way of Water?
Well, the first hour and a half was questionable, and I don't know about the second hour and a half because I fell asleep.
Don't worry, don't worry, you weren't the only one.
Some of the movie was completely nonsensical. It was almost the same story.
It
They literally recycled villains this time around. Human Son made no sense.
So many sense of the word, they recycle villains. But this okay. I'm not trying. Okay, I did say this. I did say this in my Instagram post. If you do like Avatar, you more than likely will enjoy this movie. If you're like me and Joe, and we like good stories, good narrations, and not the same thing we've seen before, more than likely you're gonna fall asleep. Yes, James Cameron may have had a hit. I think I haven't checked the gross. I haven't checked the gross on this yet, but I think it's made a pretty penny so far.
It's already passed $1 billion worldwide. Domestically, its opening weekend, it didn't even beat out Thor: Love and Thunder. It came out fourth in the year. Now I believe it's the third highest domestic opening in 2022.
Got it. Well, don't get me wrong. Look, I get it because James Cameron first, and the reason why we're talking about this, aside from the fact that James Cameron was waiting 13 years because he says that he was waiting on the technology to make this movie. I still want to know what technology he was waiting on personally, because it looks like he did the same thing in the first movie. Number two, the story itself, like me and Joe said, it was a rehash story with the same characters. And I'm going to leave it at that in case somebody wants to go see it. It'll explain that part. But just overall, I don't get where James Cameron was coming from because the reason why I bring that up is because he attacked Marvel. He sat there and said that, unless you're a superhero movie, you're not going to get the budget. You're not going to get this, not going to get that. And let's not forget, James Cameron believes that he can make Avatar 3 and 4. And I'm just like, I don't see a reason for 3 and 4. I mean, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. After watching The Way of Water, do we believe that a 3 and 4 is done, or should they just pat Cameron on the head and say no?
Well, following the Avatar, they've already hit the Water Tribe, so they got to hit the Earth Tribe next, then the Fire Nation, and then they got to get to the Air Kingdom, and then they'll be able to defeat the Space Pirates. I mean, at this point, it really is. We really are coinciding with. Because I do think the next one they are going to an Earth-based kingdom.
Yeah, it's called the Tree Seed.
Oh, they're going to the Southern Earth Tribe. Okay, sure.
But it's just when I saw that I was like, yes, he may have had a hit somewhat, but again, nobody is. In the comments, feel free to let us know too. I don't see anyone clamoring for an Avatar 3. I don't. Or 4.
I will call a spade. James Cameron is correct. Marvel is formulaic, but it's a Marvel movie would be A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For a story, sometimes. A Avatar movie right now is 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
And there's visually gorgeous. But the movie, to me, was nonsensical. It was boring. You can show me pretty things all day, but I need something a little bit more to grab me. And I understand Marvel movies, comic book movies are very much the same thing, where they're stopping a bad guy. We're stopping a pillar of light in the sky. We're stopping an alien invasion.
But
We are
isn't
stopping
that most superhero movies though? I
pretty
mean,
much most superhero
it's
movies, but
most superhero movies.
it's most superhero movies. But I mean, you know, like I said, I'm calling spade a spade. Marvel is formulaic. I don't argue that,
Yeah,
but Marvel hits everybody in the audience. Like everybody in the audience is entertained. I don't understand what audience he was going for, other than the people that held on to hope, or people, or we're taking our kids to go see it because ooh, pretty shiny.
I guess so. I don't see it. But anyway,
I mean, I'll say this. I finally, because I'm on vacation, I
Mhm.
went and marathoned all three John Wick movies.
You enjoy them?
All three of those movies are the exact same movie.
Well,
It's
yeah,
the same fight sequence, but it grabs you in because the characters and the world is slowly defined as the movie goes on. Because the movies take place over the course of 2 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah, 2 weeks is the whole timeline for 1, 2, and 3.
yeah.
Um, I'm not going to say a better story than Twilight, but
It is better.
like,
It's a better story. I'll say it.
The villains they chose make no sense and literally are recycled. One of the kids makes no sense. Well, two of the kids make absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't get into it. It was way longer than it needed to be. They could have trimmed down
Yeah. For him to
so much exposition or flashback. What little flashback sequences there were, like I
for him,
understand you're having to catch up people that did not see the first one.
but that's what I'm saying though. For him to sit there and say anything about a Marvel movie, he made it just as long as a Marvel movie.
And the other thing I'm seeing is, well, Avatar beats Marvel, and I'm like, so Disney beat Disney.
The mouse won. No matter what, the mouse won.
It's like the Willow show right now. It's really weird.
Yep. But I will say this: there was some other movies out there that did come out that I did enjoy that I want to give a quick review on as well. I want to start with this one just because number one, Glass Onions. It's a Knives Out mystery. Glass Onion. If you haven't seen this, as you can see down there, it's available on Netflix right now. I am not going to spoil this because if you've seen Knives Out, it follows the detective Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig. If you have not seen this movie and you like Knives Out, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you go see this movie. Just because it is a murder mystery. It does have some twists. The actors shine in this, and I got no complaints. But it's definitely something I'd recommend. I just don't want to talk about it because, like I said, it's still fresh as far as it being out. But Joe, have you had a chance to watch Glass Onion?
No, it's really hard to watch Netflix here because family is constantly watching K-dramas.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Yeah. When you get a chance, I want your opinion on that because I really think you'll like it. I really think you'll like Glass Onion. Like I said, without giving it away, because I don't want to do that. Like I said, even me saying a little bit of it is still would still spoil it. So again, Glass Onion, I'll wait another week before I talk about it. But again, great movie. Another show that came out as well, that did also come out on Netflix just recently, and I was very surprised about this as well. The Witcher: Blood Origin. It's a prequel to how The Witcher came to be, and I will say it like
I heard
this.
this is tanking hard.
Say what?
I heard this is tanking hard.
I don't know why.
Do you not like it?
I watched all four. I was like, for me, I watched all 4 episodes. I thought it was great. But I think where people are going to have the problem with this is because I warn people, it's not going to be. It's a prequel to the Witcher stories. So because it's a prequel, there's going to be some things out of it that that are not going to make sense. Characters that they're bringing in again are not going to make sense. So if you kind of take that into consideration, it's still a great story. But I guess I don't want to say people are expecting a lot just because they see The Witcher Blood Origin. I mean, I watched all 4 episodes and I liked it. I thought it was very well done. I thought it kind of filled in some gaps to explain some things in The Witcher, but I trying to figure out why it's tanking. I don't know why. It's actually number 5 on the Netflix watch viewer list, so I don't get it.
So my guess is this is one of the reasons why Henry Cavill left, because he knew if they were filming this, they were going to be taking characters from this, which is an original production,
Yeah,
and sticking them in the new season where they have no business being, because they should be sticking inherently to the books.
well, I mean, yeah, I would agree. I would agree with Cavill on that. There's really so many stories they can go to off the books, and I can see why he said what he said, and I don't knock him for that. But I think that Blood Origin is kind of taking collateral damage just because all they did was just took a prequel and said, let's make a nice little mini-series stories out of it. But there are some folks who are very passionate about their fandoms. I just didn't really get that. But I had nothing against Blood Origin. I just thought that was great. But beyond that, before we get into our animes and other things, Joe had brought this up again in our Facebook group, and now I have to go look this up, or at least wait till it comes out, because I did not know one guy, because I'm not really a fan of Rachel Lee Cook. I love Patton Oswalt, but the fact that they are going to be in a superhero noir world called No One. And Joe, do you got any background on this as far as what they're going to be doing with Image Comics?
As far as there's very little information. This is taking place in the Massiverse, so the same universe as Radiant Black. God, I can't remember anybody's names now. Dead Lucky, Radiant Black.
Girl Red?
Inferno Girl Red, and the Night Dude, who I cannot remember his name right now. Something Sun. Guys, it's late, and I've been in and out of napping because I pulled a neck muscle. Oh, yeah.
Black Sun.
No, not Black Sun. Black Sun's Kamen Rider.
I thought he was... I'll look that up momentarily. So this is basically, so what you're saying is No One is just going to fit within the Massiverse, right?
Yeah, No One, I guess, the way they're showing this, and I guess he's going to be the Batman or something, because I guess this is going to be like a murder mystery or something. The podcast that is going to be played like a true crime series that deals with murders that have happened in the Massiverse.
Okay.
And it's looking at this one character and how he's attached to it.
Oh, so it looks like okay right here. Let's see. A mass mystery promising to get justice done against the elite at any cost. 10-issue comic will be a monthly series called Who Is No One? Universal Strong Arm with a superhero twist. Oh, okay. So it's okay. I can look into that, even though hopefully it's on iOS. So no, I'm good with it. And it's already the first issue of No One due to hit comic book stores March 15th next year. Cool. All right. So I had to keep that in mind.
Yeah, so that's when the Rogue Sun. God, it's been a day.
Rogue Sun. We said Rogue Black. We said everything under the sun, literally. But no, I'm gonna definitely keep that one in mind. But speaking of Inferno Girl, I think there was a new trailer that we were gonna show, right?
Yeah, well, there's the new Inferno Girl trailer that came out. I think you got that one. Yep, you do. Yay.
All right, let me go and play it. Okay, so they're gonna start with Inferno Go Red issue 1. Will be in stores January 25th. What are you gonna say, Joe?
Yeah, so this is the trade, not an actual comic issue 1. So what had happened was this went out, kickstarted, and then art got delayed because of life. Life happens. Also, CL Brown, hey, what's up? So this is the Massive Versus team that is pretty much their Sailor Moon team. The whole rundown is the Inferno Go Red. She goes to a science academy, big time science nerd, but her powers work in a belief of magic. So since she is a firm believer in science and doesn't really believe in magic, the powers go fluxing on her, and has to write sorcery in her realm, along with the other Inferno girls. So from there on out, it's just one of those. I am definitely picking up. I think I know my little sister backed it, but she had big proponents of the Massiverse.
Cool. I'll be interested in reading that. Considering the fact that I love Radiant Black. I love Radiant Black. I love Rogue Sun. Although I need to go back to Rogue Sun and catch back up on that. Still waiting on. No, the Dead Lucky hasn't increased yet. But anyway, definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, that looks very interesting. What else was I say? Before we get to our animes, I think Joe, you have one thing you want to
Doctor Who 16th anniversary trailer that just came up.
Hey, give me 1 second. It was like the Doctor Who. Oh, don't get me wrong. I am looking forward to Doctor Who. I am looking forward to. That's not what I wanted. I am looking forward to seeing David Tennant as the Doctor again, but that is gonna be. They gotta explain that one.
They did.
Oh, they did explain it. I missed it. Damn.
Yeah, it's the very end of the Jodie Whittaker series thing.
I gotta go back and go watch it. I'm gonna have to go back and go watch it. I must have missed it.
There's really nothing to explain. She just regenerates, and then she regenerates into David Tennant, and all he goes like, "I remember these teeth." Then looks at himself, and he's just got his ever increasing in loudness. What exclamation!
I'm gonna go back and watch that. But anyway, yes, I forgot it was Christmas time in the Doctor Who special. But anyway, 60th, if I can say words, anniversary of Doctor Who.
Sometimes I think there's something missing. Like I had something lovely, and it's gone.
I don't know who I am anymore.
The show is just beginning. Worldwide premiere.
Who are they?
Monsters.
I don't believe in destiny, but if destiny exists, then it is heading for Donna Noble.
Open fire!
If she ever remembers me, she will die.
You mean man? He's not there. You can't see him.
Already? Someone tell me what the hell is going on here?
And this is why Disney acquired it. Definitely why Disney acquired it. So that's 60th anniversary of Doctor Who with the teaser trailer. David Tennant. Oh man. And Neil Patrick Harris. Is he playing the Master?
No, he's playing possibly another evil Gallifreyan.
You know what? I'm still sold. still sold.
Oh yeah, and plus we get a very, very, very brief sneak peek of the new Dr. Nakuti, whatever his name, however you pronounce his last name.
I'm not even gonna try. Not even gonna try. I don't want to apologize for destroying that man's name. I'm not even gonna try. But either way, I'm looking forward to that come next year.
Nakuti Gatwa.
Okay. But that was pretty cool. That just makes me want to go back and go watch Go watch
the other cool thing about that trailer for a lot of Doctor Who fans is the insect warriors and the cat creature are characters that were originally only exclusive to the Doctor Who comic book series. And they were making their first television appearance ever.
Nice. Cool. I didn't remember. I have to go back and actually read those. I usually listen to audiobooks, but I guess I should go take the comics out as well. So anyway, the last little bit of news I got before I hand off to Joe for whatever news. I know he's got comic books because he has some comic book pools I got questions about. But anyway, so as you guys all know, we are approaching a new year. And with the new year, we did have some animes that are going to be going on break. Four we're going to talk about are just recently going on break now, very quickly. That I just wanted to bring up. The first one I will bring up is literally My Hero Academia. It just had its cliffhanger this past Saturday. This past Saturday. Kind of ticked off some people. I don't know why. Just because from where it stands, I mean, it looks like the villains, and for all those don't know, it's in the middle of the war arc. So at this point, Shigiri, also controlled by All for One, in a weird body snatcher way. Of course, Midoriya has discovered another quirk along with that, and everybody at this point is really just trying to lick their wounds. But overall, this season of My Hero Academia has been great. I got no complaints. As we know, it will pick back up sometime next year. But Joe, any opinions on this season of My Hero Academia that you had so far?
It's fine. I understand why people are upset because they didn't stop at come to a natural stopping point. They kind of just left everything in a big cliffhanger ending rather than Bleach. We'll get to Bleach in a bit, but Bleach actually came to a good natural stopping point.
Yeah.
For the season, this one didn't. This one just you got to tune in next episode in October.
But I'm not mad about it. I like. You know why? The reason why I say that is because number one, I've read to where they are, so I'm good on that. But at the same time, I like the fact that it's you went differently. It wasn't always the be all end all happy ending. It was kind of like how we didn't expect Infinity War to end. If it kind of gives you that idea.
Yeah, it's kind of the Simpsons episode of Marge, I'm confused. Is it a good ending or is it a bad ending? It's an ending, Homer. Let's just leave it at that.
Pretty much. Now, I did want to cover this since you've already brought this up. Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. It has reached its middle. Of course, if you haven't watched the most recent episode where the blade is me, we do see Ichigo does get his new Zanbakuto, which is a two-handed weapon, which again I love. I do love the fact they covered everything but the ring, which is a very crucial story to how, number one, we found out what happened to his mom. Number two, his connection to the Quincy and things of that nature. But I do like where they left that, as they will pick that up next year. But any thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, they did fix some stuff. I will say that. They fixed a bit of story in this one with the anime, but they already said they were going to do that. I am still really don't care that Ichigo is now literally everything this series is. I think that's the stupidest character progression I've ever seen, where anytime a new thing comes up, he's somehow part of that. At this point, I'm waiting for them to let us know he's also somehow a Belt, and he's also somehow a Zanbakuto. Everything else, I really enjoyed. The production value is amazing. I'm glad they're doing what My Hero does. And taking breaks.
I'm not trying to laugh at you, Joe. I'm just like, if you've read the manga, so you already
know. Oh, yeah, I've read the manga. But they're also fixing things that he had problems with. So I'm sure things are definitely changing. There were things that are changed in this that I was more than okay with.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is terrible character progression for a character where you just miraculously happen to be everything under the sun all at once.
Well, true. But I mean, if you really think about it, he's kind of been powered up to the point to where he's beyond the captain at this level. I mean, he's kind of at that. He's kind of like. I mean, there's General Yamato, and there's pretty much him. Everybody else.
Let me ask you: did he really also need to be a Quincy?
I want to say yes, just because it makes sense to the story.
I mean, other than the fact that he's now technically Uryu's second cousin somehow, but
yeah, that does go into the "I'm your own grandpa" story.
I mean, we see that the mom in her day was dangerous as crap because she can tank a hollow that can OTK any Soul Reaper and just pretty much tiny pistol it in the head. No problem. But like, no, as I said, production values on this were great.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that we are not going into 90-week filler like we used to in Bleach. And that we're going the My Hero route and taking seasons off to make sure production values stay high.
You know, the funny thing, though, I will say, not to cut you off, I will say this. Bleach didn't have a whole bunch of fillers except the Captain Amagi story. That was actually worth a filler. Well, technically, it really wasn't filler. It was an arc, but it was filler. But
the story that was worth it was the Zanpakuto War.
I mean, it still was worth it. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was also now technically canon because of the Hell arc, the one-shot Hell arc, because they do mention that as a throwaway line. So that technically happened at some point. It just is one of those like, yeah, that happened over there.
But then I always wonder why they never did the Hellverse arc, which would make sense. The Hellverse arc was actually pretty good.
Well, maybe at some point he will do the Hellverse arc after the end of this, but that'll be 2024, 2025 when that thing ends.
That's also true.
Unless he's doing like some major rewriting and compression, which I'm also okay with.
Yeah, well, I need all animators to like take a break. Like seriously, we love what you guys are doing, but for your animators that are creating this wonderful content for us, take care of yourselves, because a couple of y'all are dropping like flies. But look,
oh no, that is that. If you're talking about Hunter x Hunter, that dude just needs to end the manga and move on to something else.
No, it's not just him. There's actually a few from My Hero. There's one in Chainsaw Man. There's one in I'm missing one somewhere. It's not just Hunter x Hunter, although I'm looking forward to that too.
Hunter x Hunter just needs to end. This dude just needs to write an ending and be done with it, because he keeps going on all these hiatuses. At this point, he's going to go on a hiatus and just not come back.
More than likely so. But either way, also this one too, I guarantee if your child saw this, you probably should be asking questions. Chainsaw Man. Again, it was definitely not for children. If you
also understand there's some controversy where people in Japan are wanting a new series director because apparently this got a really lackluster performance, and I don't for the life of me understand why.
Because I thought it was great. I really thought Chainsaw Man was great. I mean, for his first season for the episodes that we got, I thought it was great. The story did make sense about Denji. Especially the fight with him and Katana Man. That fight was something else. And it did give us some insight into some support characters. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see a problem with it, so I don't see why they're asking for a whole retooling. But like I said, Chainsaw Man, as you have we implied this months ago, is definitely not for kids. But Joe, what did you think of it?
It was fun. A little bit much in the gore factor for me. Like, I can handle like Guyver level gore, but this was going like a step above. In my opinion, I am thankful. I am very thankful they did. Even though they said they were going to censor, this series was going to be completely uncensored. I am more than okay that they censored the after party sequence.
Oh,
that just didn't even shown. Like, That's something I just can't deal with.
Oh, I watched it. I kind of regret watching it, but I watched it.
That was like
But anyway,
the one thing they actively did censor in the series, and I am okay with that.
yeah. But I did say the best for last just because I am a little bit picky when it comes to Gundam.
Are we talking about Wild Tanuki sounds?
Yes. Because I like Joe, me and Joe, we're both Gundam fans. So yes, I'm a little impartial by making this the last anime we're going to review because again, this also is going on hiatus until next year. It's Gundam, Mobile Gundam: The Witch from Mercury that's available on Crunchyroll right now. All 11 episodes are there. This is actually going to be a 25 episodes run.
We get one more episode, I think either this week or next week. We get the finale.
It'll be this week. It'll be this week for 12.
So my sister actually made a very fun discovery. Soletta is the tallest main protagonist Gundam pilot in the entire franchise.
Yeah, you're right.
No, Soletta's 5'7".
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that.
I'm sitting there thinking it's like, well, what about Judai Ashia? So I looked up and was like, no.
No.
And I'm sitting there thinking about like all the ones that are like actually like closer to adults, and like no, Shuri Yamada wasn't that tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what about the guy from Thunderbolt? So I had to look at him. It's like he is 1 inch shorter than Soletta.
Yep.
He's only 5'6".
Now, if you haven't watched this, guys, it is available on Crunchyroll for you to watch. I highly recommend it, especially if you are a fan of Gundam series. At least the first and second episodes.
Episode 0 and episode 1.
If episode 0 and episode 1 don't grab you, more than likely you're probably not gonna like the rest of it. But at least one where, to sum this up very soon, Joe, you had the nice summation to episode 1.
Wait,
you remember what you
said? Ultra afraid girl with the giant robot comes into school and proceeds to deliver disrespectful beatdowns?
Yes.
Yes.
That was yes. That, and you guys think we're kidding? That actually happened in the first episode. But definitely that's another one that we recommend to watch just because right now it's got one more episode. Again, it goes into hiatus for next year after that.
We've met the witches from Earth. I do like that we set up a dispute between Soletta and Minori, and then it's immediately handled the next episode. It's not dragged out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not leading to bad feelings. It's just immediately handled once someone points out to Minori. It's like, you do realize you said this to her and now she feels this way. Oh yeah, I need to go talk to her.
Right. But no, again,
we get that wonderful chase sequence through the space station.
You are not lying, but no. But yeah, those 4 animes, like I said before, with the exception of The Witch Mercury, has one more episode, but they will return. They will return sometime next year in 2023. But don't forget, guys, we still have other animes that are going to be coming in the spring, like Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village Arc.
That is all you.
Say what?
That is all you.
Oh, I love Demon Slayer. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen will be returning. I can't wait to watch that. I'm trying to think of all these off the top of my head, and I'm failing miserably.
Blue Lock is coming back shortly. They're only taking a small hiatus.
Yeah, that's another one. Here's another one I'm missing. Blue Exorcist is actually coming out with another story. So that's cool. Yeah, that's coming out with another saga next year. So what?
The other one now.
I was gonna say not Attack on Titan.
We're moving into the new. Oh God, no! I'm not watching that anymore. They catfished that. That's enough.
They got it.
It's a movie. It's a series. It's a movie. It's a series.
Yeah, Attack on Titan got everybody, but yeah, you're not lying.
Good.
But no, but that's. I'm sorry, we got Joe.
What do we got? We got Way of the House Husband coming out New Year's Day. If you've not seen that, that is fantastic comedy.
Way of the House Husband?
It is retired yakuza just trying to live a normal married life as a traditional house husband. because his wife is the breadwinner, and the Yakuza just keep finding a way back into his life. And it's not Kiryu thing, it's just straight comedy, or he wants things and does it the Yakuza way, like goes to the grocery store and asks a clerk to help him find powdered sugar, but like because of the way he looks, and he just like, I need help finding the sweet white stuff. Sir, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. And then the wife comes in, he means powdered sugar.
Oh man.
I'm trying to see what we got coming out. That would Tokyo Revengers starts back up if you're in there. Trigun Stampede starts up.
Yep. Oh, that's what I was forgetting. That one. That's the one.
Godfight Vanguard Season 2 starts back up. We're getting a Nier Automata animation. Fire Force is supposed to start back up at some point.
Say what?
Fire Force was supposed to start back up at some point.
Fire
Then
Force
there's
will
just
start.
a lot of
Later in 2023. I'm waiting on Fire Force. That's going to come out later in 2023. Probably close to the fall.
Then spring, Dr. Stone 3.
Yep. Oh, Record of Ragnarok. Oh, I forgot about Record of Ragnarok and the King and Ashura and Baki. So there's a lot of Netflix animes that'll be coming. There's a lot of Netflix animes that are going to be coming out as well.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 doesn't come till July 2023.
I can live with that. That ain't far. Trust me, I'll have plenty of time. I have plenty of time to sit down and watch.
Trying to see if there's anything for me. Because all I'm seeing is a lot of isekais. One Piece.
I'm still trying to track down that white whale. It's going to. I refuse to give up. I am going to catch up on One Piece.
Is there anything that remotely interests me in this?
Not remotely interests you. Not remotely.
Or am I just going to have to go back to the other thing?
But while you're looking that up, though, while he's looking at it, but while he's trying to see if there's any other animes, guys, we got out there.
Yeah, there is one. Legends of Heroes, the Heroes of Legend, or the Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel, the Northern War. This is taking place at the same time as the anime of the same game, or the game of the same. And I swear I can get this. This is taking place during the same time as the game of the same name.
You know, I have
Trials of RPG series.
I have Trials of Cold Steel downloaded on from my PlayStation. I have never played it.
Oh, it's really good. And they actually do look at your saves to carry over story elements between all four games.
I'll have to give that a shot. I actually have the original one downloaded from PlayStation Plus. I've never tried it, but no, I'll give it a shot. But while Joe's looking it up, guys, just to let you know, what else am I forgetting here?
Pokemon.
Say what?
Pokemon.
Oh, right, Pokemon. Didn't you have to pay? Didn't you say you had a? Oh, dang it! I don't have the thing. How do you feel about? Because again, I don't have it up, but it's okay. We can roll without it. So Pokemon. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me. Will be starting its new adventure, and it's gonna have a change that I don't think. Well, I don't know. Just because I'm not involved in the Pokemon culture as well as everybody else. But Ash Ketchum, you know, the man who at 10 years old left his home to be a Pokemon trainer / master that his mom had no issue with and traveled the world. And now he may not be the main protagonist of the story. So, Joe, how do you feel about that? I mean, does it bother you? Does it?
Well, he's a 25-year-old with he's a 10-year-old with 25 years worth of job experience. So anybody's going to hire him.
Is it really job experience if you just I mean world travel?
Any job in any Pokemart or Poke Center now. He has that much job experience. No, we also looked. We had a small special called The Blue Sky, where it is the movie continuity timeline. See that Ash is retired. Ash is slowly getting back. He's trying to meet up with his mom and dad on the way home, and goes through some other things. Runs into a family who did lose their son to Pokemon training and whatnot. Then we're going to be going on pretty much just Ash's farewell tour over the next 10 episodes. He'll be traveling to regions on his way back to Pallet Town and meeting back up with all the old traveling companions.
Okay.
And then from there we get the new people.
Okay. All right, cool. I think I got it. I think this is what we're going to show. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of Pikachu's. You know, I got a question. How does Brock not have a wife yet? Brock has got to be the guy. Brock has got to be the guy that chases down. Say what?
He doesn't respect space.
Apparently not. But I just thought about that the entire time. I was just like, how in the blue do we just? I said, okay, so. I don't know. I think it's before. I think to see Ash not be to not be the go-to protagonist for the story and actually moves on to a new chapter. I'm not saying. I mean, it's gonna be weird, but I got no issue about it. But I mean, let me ask you this from the Pokemon side of the world. Pokemon from the internal side. Are there gripes about this, or are we just like about time, or it's like how
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there is gripes about it.
There are gripes about it, but there are also people that are hopeful because the two new characters, Liko, which is the girl, and Roy, which is the boy. We noticed that Liko's hairpin has the same insignia that's on Ash's hat. So a lot of people are thinking that this is actually a time skip, and this is Liko, the girl, is Ash's daughter, with possibly Serena. I think is the one that is supposedly Ash's love interest.
I have so many questions.
Well, I mean, this is just all stated theory based off one screenshot and things people know. But I mean, if it is a time skip and it's Ash's kid, that's fine. I don't care. If they just happen to be wearing the same thing and it's just two new kids, I'm also down for it. Doesn't bother me in the least.
Yeah.
I mean, being Team Rocket being a part of the anime going forward is also fine if they want to retire. I mean,
could you see Team Rocket retiring though?
Possibly, because I mean, like Scarlet and Violet are dealing with the Team Star stuff, and those are all school-based bullying things.
I kind of feel like that's like the bulk. It's like the we are not. It's almost like the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner group. It's like once they retire, it's like, what's the point? The person's not there anymore. At least that's what I get out of it, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I don't mind if that happens because I mean, in the manga or in one of the mangas, I think, yeah, Electric Tails and Pikachu, they retire, get married, and have a kid.
When you're finally ready to give up that life, still 25 years as a Pokemon trainer. That is still just funny as I mean, can you really put, you know what? Let me shut up. Anyway, that's what I got. So Joe, any news before we go to our comics, sir?
I mean, not anything like we haven't already discussed, other than like I'll be appearing on the Fire and Water Network's Blah Ha 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 podcast. I'm actually be recording that sometime next week or week and a half.
Nice. Oh, you definitely gotta let us know so we can definitely post that. Because one of us is popular. Definitely. Yeah, one of us is popular. It ain't me. I
told Shag, after 3. I told Shag, I'm glad we're doing this 3 years later because now I actually have things I can promote.
Cool. Well, before we get to the comics, guys, we do want to first and foremost do shout out Rick's Comic City for supporting us here at the Get Big Podcast. This is actually their website, but they do have 3 locations if you are in the Middle Tennessee area. One in Nashville, one in Clarksville, one in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. They also have their website, rickscomiccity.com. Voted #1 place to go for comics in Nashville. So if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. Let them know that we sent you. It doesn't mean you're not getting discounts, but hey, they support us, so we support them. So again, definitely check them out. Of course, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely support your local comic book store, support your local libraries, as they still carry the most up-to-date mangas, comics, anime, media, things of that nature. At the cost of library card, even in 2022. You can still read to your heart's content. So if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, check out Rick's Comic Book City. Aside from that, support your local comic book stores and local libraries, and get your pet spayed or neutered. Anyway, what you got, Joe?
First off, we just have a touching tribute to Kevin Conroy with wonderful words by Paul Dini and Alan Burnett. I'm not sure who did the artwork for this, but this is excellent artwork portraying Kevin Conroy's iconic version of Batman. He will be greatly missed.
Yes, he will.
First off, we're going to be looking at Blue Beetle Graduation Day, issue 2. This is written by Josh Trujillo with art by Adrian Gutierrez and colors by Will Quintana. We'll go with that.
Hey, close enough.
So the Reach may have come back in the first No,
go ahead.
So in the first issue, the Reach came back. Jaime Kajida, which is the beetle itself, has started to fritz out and only speak in Reach. Meanwhile, Jaime graduated and then promptly got kicked out of the house by his parents because Jaime was like, I don't know if I want to go to college immediately. I don't know what I want to do. So parents were like, well, you ain't loafing here. You're going to your aunt's.
Kind of a Fresh Prince situation. Go ahead. You're going to go to your Tia. And that was a Fresh Prince situation.
So this does immediately pick up. He is living with his aunts. He lives in Palmyra City. Works as a busboy there and waiter, and then starts getting by the Gold Beetle, who we learn who she is. We go to Court Industries. We see Ted is doing stuff. We meet Ted's maybe new older sister. I'm not entirely sure. I remember Victoria Cord from prior things.
Yeah, it's older
sister. But I don't know if she's a new character or not.
Oh.
I remember his dad. I remember Trixie, his secretary / girlfriend. I don't remember Victoria, so that may be a new character.
That may be a new character.
who is fully supportive of everything, but still just like wants Ted to just grow the F up. It's just still he just says no, but does offer Jaime a internship, and then we learn about the Gold Beetle a little bit more, who they are, and then Starfire is basically just like, yeah, you're the only one that can save the universe. Come with me if you want us to live.
She did pull a Terminator. Come with me if you want to leave. Although I do have to give I was like, the Yellow Beetle, that was funny, where she's like, you attacked me. He's like, no, you came at me. Well, you were an enemy. That's what you took from that? But no, it was definitely good. I had to go back. I mean, I didn't read the first one, so I had to go back and read issue 1, then issue 2. But Blue Beetle Graduation, I did like it. I did like where they're going with this. The fact that they sent Superman to ground him. How you gonna send the most kindest person to be like, yeah, so we here at the Justice League is like, the Reach is probably coming back, and we need to ground you. Cool. You said the one person that he probably just like, Superman just grounded me. It's like, but no. But Jaime, as far as that, and Starfire coming out of nowhere, that makes me want to look. It's the reason why I'm going to probably hold on to the series and keep reading it, just because it was really that good.
Yep. I don't even mind that most of it. A lot of both issues are in Spanish.
Yeah.
Which kind of like hinders the reading experience a little bit, but you know what? That is Jaime's first language. More power to it. I love the fact that we're getting this kind of representation. Moving on over, we have John Stewart, the Emerald Knight. Huh?
None. What? Go ahead. I was saying when you were talking about Jaime, I was like, and Google Translate. But go ahead.
Yeah, this is written by Jeffrey Thorne with art by Marcos Santucci, with colors by Michael Atiyeh. So this is how Michael Thorne gets to end his Green Lantern run, because they're not giving this man any more time on this book, because he is probably the second most disappointing Green Lantern run, next to the Grant Morrison run, which he did do cool stuff, but he also took away the Green Lantern from Green Lantern for a wee bit too long, and that lost a lot of the fan base. He did get right. He made Fantastic. He made us care about Jessica Cruz being a Yellow Lantern. Took Kyle off the board, which was not a big thing for me. Simon Baz, basically a Green Lantern style War Machine character, which actually gives some relevance to Simon, other than I'm the car dude or I'm the lantern that carries a gun. But this definitely was a very confusing one-shot finale for his arc, and I had a really hard time following what the heck was going on, because for some reason there were 2 versions of John Stewart at one point, and I didn't know which ones I was supposed to be following.
Confusing ain't the word, but go ahead.
No, I mean, it's really, I had to reread this like multiple times to get what was going on, and still, like, at the end of the book, it's like, oh, thank God it's over.
I mean, you ain't wrong with that.
I understand. It's cool that John Stewart is now one of the most, huh?
You ain't wrong, but damn.
Like, that's about it's cool. I think there are still 2 John Stewarts, because that's unclear. There's Green Lantern John Stewart and Emerald Knight Stewart.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I think. And now one of the I think Emerald Knight John Stewart is going to look for his somehow now resurrected wife, while standard Green Lantern John Stewart will be in the upcoming Green Lantern books.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it that well, did they?
I'm trying to be nice on this one, but like, God, I'm glad he's done with this story because woof.
Yeah.
And that's coming off the entirely incomprehensible Grant Morrison run on Green Lantern.
Yeah, fair point. It just was.
I mean,
Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. It's just happy to be over. Just happy for it to be over.
I mean, you were digging it at first.
So what?
I said,
hang on a minute. You're hang on. Say it one more time. You broke up.
Yep, we're back. There we go.
Okay, what are you saying? Uh-oh. You hear me,
You're
Joe?
back?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, no, I was just saying that I was just saying that it was rough. It was rough.
Dark Web. We go back to the Dark Web. I want to say it like Stewart and Leonard Kenny, but what if I had to think? Can you hear me okay?
Okay, I can hear you now. I was like, it kind of dropped out for a second.
Trying to find this other thing we can talk about real quick towards the end, but Dark Web, Amazing Spider-Man 16, the Ben versus Peter thing where Peter is trying to calmly diffuse the situation and Ben is aggressively saying, "No, sir, I don't like it." Ben is just going to fight Peter tooth and nail, and Ben has a very one-sided view of things because his memory is still collapsing on him. So Peter's telling Ben, "This is what happened," and Ben's like, "Well, you're lying." It's like Peter's like, "But we can help you with your memory. You're still lying." Peter, of course, is in his like spider. Huh?
No, I was just saying the conversation between Ben and Peter that whole entire time was just funny.
Oh yeah, like people are thinking Dark Web is supposed to be this super serious and dark things. Like, no, this is like a really good dark comedy. This is like Ash versus the Army of Darkness kind of style comedy is what this series is.
Yeah.
Peter, of course, tries to prove he's the one true Spider-Man and that he's got new tricks because Ben's been away for a long time and Peter's learned a thing or two. And then Ben immediately turns around and is like, I'm the Spider-Man that advances the Spider-Man. And then proceeds to use his new powers to make hard light web constructs and an offensive version of the Spider Sense.
He does Spawn.
He does Spawn. I'm not going to argue that.
I mean, I'm not mad about it, but let's call it what it is. He did Spawn, but okay.
I'm trying to find that thing. So, Riley story.
You might be breaking up a little bit, Joe.
There we go. Okay, there, back.
All right.
Moving on over, we have Dark Web X-Men #2. This is written by Jerry Duggan with art by both Rod Reese and Phil Netter, meaning the artwork is excellent. Pretty much we're just picking back up where we were last issue. Everyone's been captured. We're catching up with Jean, Ileana, Alex, and Scott. We have a wonderful thing where, you do get to feel for Madeline Pryor because she comes to the conclusion she was created. Okay, we got that one. Maybe that's what was giving us the fits.
I got it. Go ahead.
We open Madeline dreaming on her throne and watching a baby Cable being dragged under the sand and taken away from her. And that kind of gives you, it's like, yeah, Madeline's only real purpose in the X-Men was to make kids with Scott and then just have them taken away. She was really done dirty. And at the same time, Inferno happened because she went nuts. Now she's slightly less nuts. And, punishing Scott and to a lesser degree Alex by hanging puppies on an energy leash in front of Cyclops and taking his visor so he can't use his powers in the most diabolical way ever. Meanwhile, the only thing she's really done to Alex is just make him wear a really crappy costume. And is what is my favorite thing where Alex talks to, it's like Alex tried to talk to Scott last issue. It's like, you need to talk to this woman. You two will benefit from a long conversation, and we wouldn't be in half of this mess.
When the world
Meanwhile,
can be saved
this time around, huh?
When the world can be saved.
No, so even Madeline was like, "Hey, I'm in therapy," and the therapist is saying all these things that has been really helping me, and Madeline is gives him this really weird look, like, "You're in therapy?" And now it's like, look, one of us in this family is gonna do the right thing and try to get some help.
Right.
And even tell Scott with Madeline in the room, talk to this woman. Meanwhile, Scott, what have you done with my wife? But what has she done with his wife? So Maddie wants some of Jean's memories because she thinks Jean has taken majority of her life with her children.
Mm-hmm.
With most notably Cable, which is true because we did have that whole sub-series in the 90s called The Adventures of Red and Slim, where they were raising Cable in the future.
Right.
But Maddie wants those memories. So in a month, Ileana as a small child with a stick, as naturally she would, and Jean are fighting various things and trying to do stuff, and then Jean remembers who she is and just slaps the taste right out of Madeline's mouth.
If that was not a step up,
That's a really good slap. Again, in this whole situation, it's hilarious that Havoc is the one. Everybody, can we please just sit down and talk this out?
You can almost hear the "Why Can't We Be Friends" playing. You can almost hear.
I mean, yeah. See if I can't find that one picture because that has just been floating around all over the place.
Because every time I hear it, I'm like, I can literally hear the "Why Can't We Be Friends." That's the funny part. He's like, you realize if you just talk to her, I think it'll work out just fine. And you would think that'd be like, yeah, I mean, I could, but why? At least that's what I got out of it. It's like, yeah, I could talk to her, but why?
Pull out that panel real quick. Won't share it because we don't want to share stuff like that. We can't really do that. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
I can describe it best we can. I can at least read off of it. It's just one of those things.
No, I get you.
There it is. Alex just tells her point blank, look, it's pretty clear you're in pain, Maddie, lashing out by throwing me in whatever this is. and angry, and rightfully so, and probably rightfully so at my brother and I. My therapist is wondering how anyone puts up with this, let alone our significant others. To which Maddie just like, "You're in therapy?" With just this really confused look on her face. Meanwhile, Cyclops like, "Can we save this chat and just tell me what's happening in New York?" Like, literally.
That's still funny.
All this is just, can we just have a civil conversation and sit and talk this through?
But it's still funny that, of all people, it's pretty bad when Havoc is the voice of reason.
At this point, I think he's had the most emotional growth out of anybody from Krakoa.
Fair point.
But yeah, I'm really digging this. I mean, it goes on much longer because Havoc is just doing some other things, and Maddie calls him out on some BS, and Havoc's like, "No, you're right," and it sucks. To which Madison, even after he admits to it, Madison's like, "All right, Alex, I'll consider your offer, but we got to deal with your brother first."
Still, that's
good book. We all know, if you watch this is an immediate win for me based on the artwork alone, because we all know I am a huge fan of Phil Noto. That man can draw a comic all day long for me. Him and Dan Mora.
Yeah, I can't lie. It was good. It was a good issue.
She-Hulk, number 9. We are getting close to finale. This is written by Rainbow Rowell with art this time by Takeshi Miyazawa and colors by Rico Renez. Long and short of this is She-Hulk is captured by the Gamma couple, and bad crap goes down, and then She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall and loudly proclaims she is really sick of being given people in her life and those people being taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much, she's had a lot of that in her time span.
But the thing about it is, though, that was a big F you to the writers. That was a big F you to the writers.
Well, it's a big F you to the other writers, because Rainbow Rowell was the one addressing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure at some point she'll get on a Marvel editorial at some point. I don't know when this series is going to end, but I've been loving it. Great art, good story, good characters. I wish more people would get on board with this, but like, I just don't understand. I guess, like, I don't know how I should put this.
Nah, go for it.
Stuff like this in the She-Hulk TV series, to show how afraid some people are of women. Like, I had a conversation with someone, I had a conversation, it's like, well, was it really, there was too much femininity in the show. It's like, you mean of a show and a comic book and a comic book where the principal majority cast is women. It's like, well, even if the men were very feminine, it's like, no, they were fine. Dude just has a big heart on for shoes. Doesn't mean he's effeminate.
Pretty much.
It's like, what about this in the book? It's like, this is what the new run is. It's what the new writer wants. If it passes editorial, it passes editorial. I don't get people sometimes with this thing. It's like,
there's no pleasing everybody. There's always going to be weird ones.
It's like, just to complain there's too much femininity in the comic and in the show. It's like,
that's what you have to sit back and go, you're complaining about femininity in a She-Hulk comic. Think about your sentence.
I asked him if there was too many women in Wonder Woman comic. He didn't answer.
Just wow. I mean, I get it. No, I'm just saying I get it. I like the way you point that out to them. I completely agree with that.
Like, I get people sometimes. Moving on over for Book of the Night. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Meet the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Volume 2. This is written by Ryan Perot, illustrated by Dan Mora, meaning we have insane artwork. Raul Angelo is doing colors. The long and short of this is the Turtles are chilling with the Rangers using holographic image inducer. We get to see that Michelangelo and Donatello are black, which is, I'm down for that. Makes perfect sense to me. Big boon for the comic community in that one. I don't really know. What was your take on that?
I was laughing at the point where it's like, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. But also at the same time, it also made sense that the camouflage starting to malfunction. I was like, yes, in typical Donatello fashion, the malfunction was happening. So no, I dig it. I had
we do see some stuff going down between the foot and did they outright say it was Rita this time around, or is it somebody new?
Somebody new.
Someone new. So it's probably Lord Zed for this universe. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where the timeline this is because this is still Zach Classic Rangers.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've had the White Ranger yet because last time Shredder got the Green Ranger coin.
Right.
But Casey's acting super suspicious. We don't know what's going on there, but at the end, Casey Jones becomes Chaos Ranger Red.
That was still nuts.
Yeah, this was a fun book. We're trying not to spoil this one as much as possible because this one was really good. If anything, the art is spectacular. Everybody is spot on to who they are, but that's not surprising considering Ryan Perot just finished his run on Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. And, Dan Moore can just draw all day and never get tired.
Yeah, I mean, I dig this issue. So I'm actually want to keep up with this just because I want to see how this is going to go with those twists that we can't talk about. But I still want to. I mean, if you haven't read this issue, you really should. It's definitely different, especially how I won't say they reimagined Turtles, but they kind of gave them attitudes that match up with certain people that you can sit there and be like, yeah, that makes sense. But no, I'm definitely keeping up with this.
We do have one more thing comic-wise because we finally did get confirmation on what the Dawn of DC lineup is going to be. Give me 1 second. We'll shift over to that. I do have thoughts on this.
Okay.
Very confused on some things. So we have the Unstoppable Doom Patrol, which will be dropping in March. We have Superboy, Man of Tomorrow. This is going to be written by Kenny Porter and Janoy Lidzi. This is the Connor Kent book.
Okay.
Mariko Tamaki, who is currently writing Detective Comics and killing it, has been named to be the writer of the Hal Jordan Green Lantern book. Meanwhile, Philip Kennedy Johnson will be taking over the John Stewart Green Lantern book. We do not have artists for either one of these books at time. I am hoping we are getting what we had the last time, where we had Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, or Green Lantern that focused on Jessica and Simon, while Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps focused on the main thing. So I'm hoping Hal gets his own book, and the John Stewart book is John Stewart leading the Green Lantern Corps, because we know which book I'll be getting in that scenario.
Oh, we know.
Yes, I'm a petty asshole when it comes to John Stewart. I will not lie.
And that's my favorite Green Lantern. So it's like, I already know where you're going with
No,
that.
I mean, I'm a petty asshole when it comes to Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
I love John Stewart, but we know I love Kyle Rayner more. Josh Williamson will be doing, and Sean Izaki will be doing Green Arrow. because Ollie has gone missing as a result of the ends of Dark Crisis. Even though he is resurrected, we don't know where in the multiverse he is.
Okay.
But we do know that Josh Williamson can write a heck of a book. So that's going to be really, really well done. Batman the Brave and the Bold will be written by Tom. Will be a collaborative story, it seems, with Tom King, Mitch Gerard, Gilliam March, Gabriel Hardman, Dan Moore, Rob Williams, and we're promised to tell core stories that build out the Dawn DC. So this is going to be kind of like the main book.
Okay.
This is something I'm very confused on. Cyborg is getting another book. The bad thing about it comes out in May. We have no creative team. So my first question is, why Cyborg again? Why?
That's a good point.
Like, his book comes out, gets canceled, is like always one of the first ones out of the gate, is always the first one put out to pasture. We can't tell too many Cyborg stories anymore. The quintessential Cyborg stories, even the best foregone conclusion for Cyborg, was in the George Perez, Marv Wolfman run of Teen Titans. He went the full character circle in that arc,
Fair.
in that run. Like, why is this not Static? Why is this not Hardware? Why is this not Icon and Rocket? I understand their series is still going, but if you want to push another black character, it doesn't need to be Cyborg.
I agree, but you know they're not going to do Static for reasons beyond my comprehension.
Oh, he's got his own stuff. Like, they're continuing it.
Yeah, but they're not going to get.
We've already seen the artwork, or the next arc of Static is him dealing with Ebon.
Yeah, but they're not going to give him like the same type of shine like they would give a Cyborg story.
Make this Black Lightning. Make this anybody but Cyborg. Like, it's so... The fact that we can't even announce a creative team
Says a lot.
this far out in advance, but you can tell me the book's coming out in May, is already telling me they can't find anybody in the bullpen to come up with the Cyborg story.
Ding ding. You wouldn't be wrong.
Oh, like I would say John Henry Irons, but he's going to get his own book soon too, at the bottom of the list.
Yep.
Guys,
DC.
Well, like, they got to come up with other superheroes to fill this out, and I want there to be a good, solid black superhero for comics. I mean, aside from what we already got, which is fantastic, but you guys got to move away from Cyborg. Like, it doesn't work. It's proven it doesn't work.
True.
You have any thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not against us stopping Doom Patrol. Superman tomorrow makes sense. Green Lantern, I'm with you on that. I would like to see them do a Green Lantern, John Stewart leading the core, as well as Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Green Arrow, okay, it's gonna follow Dark Crisis. I'm not mad about that. Batman, the Brave and the Bold, I'm not wrong. I'm not mad about that either. Cyborg, I'm with you on that, just because, you know, if you're gonna do anybody, you could have done Black Lightning, you could have done Hardware. You had other options out there besides Cyborg. Shazam, I'm not against that.
Shazam, I'm really looking forward to because it's Mark Waid and Dan Mora.
Yeah. Now the Penguin, let's see. Sees Oswald's Kalbach forced back in organized crime by the U.S. government. Wait.
Okay, so I think the reason they're doing this is specifically to tie into the Penguin series that's supposed to be coming out on HBO. That's one of the series that has not been canceled.
Thank you. That I was going to say, wait a minute. That sounds like the DC project. Steelworks, I'm not mad about that either way, because I do love John Henry Irons as Steel. Like I said, I got no issue with that. The only one that stands out to me is Cyborg. It's the only one I have a problem with. But no, for the rest of the lineup, I got no issues with those.
Yeah, we get concept art of everybody. We're also getting a Superman family book, which will star John. John's going to be getting his dad's good old electric blue powers soon. Meanwhile, we get to see Kara coming back from her space adventures. They are acknowledging that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is in canon. It is not an Elseworlds book. So she is coming back with a new suit. We get to see the return of Chinese Superman, which I really dig that. And then the two Kryptonian twins that Clark picked up on Warworld during his Warworld arc, where he fought Mongol, will be coming and being introduced as part of the Superman family. We also get design for Connor as well. See if I can't zoom in on that a little bit more. So we get that. I'm down. We get Kenny Kong coming back. We get new art from Doom Patrol.
Oh, fiddlesticks! I knew I forgot something. I apologize. We didn't. We will definitely back up with Doom Patrol since that season started, and I meant to watch it earlier and I didn't. I apologize. We will catch back up on Titans and on Doom Patrol next week. So apologies. But what are you gonna say, Joe?
We get more artwork. This is from Dan Mora. Again, this man doesn't stop. Power Girl. I believe she is an upcoming cover for Justice Society. More Superman, who looks suspiciously like Christopher Reeves.
He's basically the blueprint.
I mean, there's no stopping that.
Yeah, he's basically the blueprint for Superman. Let's just be honest.
Come on now. You can load. There we go. Tales of Jonathan Kent as a kid. More Power Girl. I'm guessing that's Metallo.
Oh.
It's either Metallo or Brainiac. It's one of the two.
It might be more Metallo than Brainiac.
More cover from the new Superman, Son of Superman story stuff. That's Metallo.
Yeah, that's Metallo. More of a grittier Superman in that picture.
He's so angry. We also know that Batman will be continuing. Oh, yeah.
And the Calvin
Ellis.
Yeah.
Yep. He's going to keep going. John getting his blue powers. And Superman just continuing. They have already reversed in the book. No one knows who Superman is anymore.
As it should be.
Yeah. And we do get to see we are getting a return of Livewire. This is just the first half of it. We are getting a lot of events. We're getting, I believe it's called Lazarus Planet will be the first big arc, and then for DC, oh, here it is. Lazarus Planet, and then something with Night. We see Superman, Doom Patrol. We see something with Hawkman, potentially.
That looks like Hawkman. I hate to be that guy that zooms in, but yeah, it looks like Hawkman.
That's Hawkman. And I'm guessing these tendrils are leading to Brainiac.
Probably.
Because we haven't seen Brainiac in quite a while, and Brainiac is still a very formidable DC opponent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Could probably handle his own thing. I said, guys, we got a lot of stuff coming out DC-wise. Not all of it makes sense. But what we support, we will definitely be covering those when those come out. I may even read Superman again because I will check out who's writing it. Definitely going to be getting the John book, definitely the Shazam book because Mark Waid's really good. Probably not the Batman book, but we all know my penchant on Batman.
Even if it's the Grant Morrison run, I might be interested in that. If it's the runs, I'm hoping it'll be. But I'm just a Batman fan. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, I know Chip Zdarsky is not done on his run of Batman. He's just done on his first arc, so we get to see what's going on there. I hope and wish the people writing Hal Jordan good luck. We'll see what that book turns into. I need my Green Lantern fix, but I'm going to be heading over to that John Stewart camp. What?
It was I couldn't tell that was sarcasm or sincerity, but it was whatever it was, it worked. You sat there and said, it's just the way you said it. I wish you the best of luck. Just damn.
Hal Jordan just isn't selling Green Lantern comics like he used to. Like, the previous Hal Jordan series did not sell well.
Just damn. That's what just I know. You said it. It's just how you said it. It's all about timing, sir. If there's anything, Joe, you're pretty good on timing. But yeah, I mean,
you guys can, and then if this somehow reaches somebody DC, you guys got to figure out what you're doing with your people of color characters because Cyborg ain't the way to go.
They have other ones, but I trust in Gunn. I trust in him to actually steer the ship, and maybe these are just small changes. And I know everything doesn't get solved. Rome wasn't built in a day, so I'm going to trust in him to get the job done. But thank you, Joe, for covering comic book rules and the new DC lineup, sir. As we wrap this up, do you want to let people know what you're doing, what you're going to be doing as far as being out and about, and what's going to be happening on Total Justice Gaming?
Oh, I will not be out and about too much. Numbers are too high, and family does not want me to socialize as much as I used to. So, gonna be a little trapped. Total Justice Gaming just got 2 new videos because Battle Spirits finally released their white starter deck, and I am a fan of the white aspect in Battle Spirits because they're all about giant-sized robots, and I need me some robots. Well, Cardfight Vanguard doesn't have robots at the moment, so I got to go somewhere.
Yeah, fair point.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
My Hero Academia TCG set 4 just got sneak peeked. It's going to be the villain set. I don't really have any real love for villains, but we'll see what I can do to make better looking decks. Gaming wise, we already know what I'm gaming on at the moment. I've already said it.
Yeah. And I had to go buy 2 games on Switch now, thanks to you. But go ahead.
Atari 50, Cowabunga Collection, swinging around in the Miles Morales Spider-Man game because that is a Christmas game.
Mm-hmm.
Takes place during Christmas. And then Chained Echo and Little Gator game over on the Switch, as well as some Pokemon.
Gator.
It's not my fault the game has an adorable little name.
I'm just trying to figure out how long it's going to stay up before Nintendo gets wise. That's all. I'm just waiting.
Because they just continuously allude to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. But of course, Joe's Twitter handle, sir. I'm sorry, Twitter. That's wrong. Like Twitter's not gonna be around that long anyway. Joe's Twitch channel, Joe Italian last name. Definitely check him out as well as his YouTube Total Justice Gaming. Definitely share. Also, he's not the only guy that we want to show love to. We want to show love to Christopher Gully, aka Blurred's Eye View Podcast, for saying hi. We appreciate that, sir. To Celie Brown over at her P podcast. Again, thank you for shouting us out and sharing. I certainly appreciate that. And also shout out to our other friend, who is hopefully still not watching Whitney, but I'm not sure. Our buddy Vaughn at Big VZA. If I would share it, that would be great because me trying to spell it is good and terrible. So let's try it this way. There we go. So shout out to our buddy Vaughn at BigVZA on all socials. You can definitely find him there as he usually posts everything on his TikTok as well as his Instagram and also making beats. Definitely check him out, BigVZA on all socials. As for me, guys, you can find me BlackFox447 on most socials. Definitely like and follow me. Even say hi. I'm cool. Just don't be a creeper like some folks have been that I've had to block. I do post everything that I review, that I play and I watch, and sometimes gym stuff because I like doing a couple push-ups. I will be playing the Callisto Protocol this weekend, so I will probably have a review of that next week, as we will be doing our first podcast of 2023. So looking forward to that. We will also be covering Doom Patrol as well as other things that are coming up as well. And also the link at the bottom, let me make that just a wee bit bigger for you guys. That way you can find us. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, we'll take you to our link tree. That's the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts. How the fuck we got here? Get Bitten, of course, y'all for this podcast. Like, share, and repeat. Let us know what you liked or didn't like. We still want to know your opinions on everything that we talked about tonight. Aside from that, guys, again, we do know that it is still tomorrow is the last day of 2022. Hopefully you're spending it with loved ones and friends. I would be remiss to say that, I'm not going to tell you maybe not to drink, but again, please be responsible tomorrow. Please don't do anything stupid. Please be safe. Please take advantage of all available driver assistance because nobody wants to have a story end on New Year's Day. But at least go out there, celebrate it, make resolutions, as I'm already bracing for a whole bunch of gym people to come through on January the 2nd. But definitely catch us here, guys, next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, as we will cover the news from the week. And Joe, anything else to add, sir, before we call tonight?
Yep, I would like to remind everybody that there is no rule that New Year's resolutions cannot be used for evil.
This is why I don't have force powers. He's been Joe. He's been Joe. I've been Will. I've been misconstrued. This has been the Get Bit Podcast tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll hopefully get through this in 2023. Have a good night, guys. Peace.